Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera everyone. Welcome to the How To series. In this video, we are going to look at the experiment potentiometer. The objective of the experiment is to determine the internal resistance of a battery using the potentiometer. Now, I'm going to give you the overview of the whole procedure. After the apparatus is set up, with the first switch is closed and the second switch is open, you are going to tap on the wire to find the balance length L0. And then, you are going to close the second switch and find the new balance length L. You are going to repeat this step for 6 different values of resistance. Look at here. From the equation, the y-axis will be L over L0 and x-axis will be 1 over R, and the gradient is equal to the internal resistance of the battery. Your graph is going to resemble something like this. Theoretically, you are going to have y-intercept at 1. But you might get a different value, but it's okay. This just gives you more room to discuss in the discussion section in your lab report. Having said that, keep in your mind, your graph should have y-intercept. Coming to the table section of the experiment, make sure you record the uncertainties of the measurement in your measurement column. Label each column with its symbols and units. For a value that are too small or too big, write them in the standard form, and don't forget an exponential power at the top of the column. Now, we are going to introduce the apparatus and the experimental setup for you.
Welcome again. We're going to look at the potentiometer experiment setup. This is the potentiometer. It might look like there is a lot of things here, but as its core, potentiometer is just this uniform piece of wire. Our potentiometer is a uniform wire that has a length of 100 centimeter. And we can use this terminal to connect the input voltage to the potentiometer. 6 resistors as a variable resistor connected to the battery using breadboard. This is galvanometer and it is going to be used to detect the presence of current in the circuit. And here we have a jockey. It is basically a normal wire. This end will be used to connect to the potentiometer and this end will be connected to the galvanometer. Next, the power supply will provide an input voltage to the potentiometer. This is the battery and the holder. And finally, a switch. From the terminal of the power supply, connect them across the terminal of the potentiometer. So, theoretically, the voltage across the wire will be the same as the voltage supplied by the power supply. To connect the battery to the potentiometer, we are going to use the battery and holder, galvanometer, and the jockey. Connect the positive terminal of the battery to the positive end of the potentiometer. And then, from the negative terminal of the battery to the galvanometer. Then, connect the jockey to the galvanometer. Use the jockey and tap it on the wire. When you tap one end of the potentiometer, it will deflect to one side and if you move the jockey to the other end of the potentiometer, it will deflect to the other side. Now we have the circuit properly set up. Tap the jockey from the negative terminal and touch the wire toward the positive terminal until galvanometer show no deflection. At this point, the output voltage of the potentiometer is equal to the terminal voltage of the battery. Record the balance length. The length is measured from the positive end of the wire. Connect the variable resistor to the switch. Then, from the switch to the battery's terminal. From the variable resistor again, connect to the negative terminal of the batteries. Then the circuit is complete. Now, the terminal voltage has changed because now we have current flowing in the battery. The terminal voltage will get smaller. Tap the jockey on the wire and find the balance point. And finally, record the balance length.
Okay, after that, you are going to add one more resistors in parallel to find the new balance length. The lengths should getting smaller. Repeat the step until you have 6 resistors in parallel. That is it for the video. I hope it helped with the experiment. Should you have any inquiries, consult with your practical lecturer. Thank you.